Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for coming. Such a wonderful kirtan. Let's give a round of applause to Sharan and Tina. And the instrument players and the night singers as well. Today, he also did. Specifically one. He was imitating other flutists. Okay, just to shake up things, so we will be sitting this side today, and so I will request all the Prabhus to move to this side and all the Matajis to move here in 30 seconds, and then we will begin the session soon. Hare Krishna. Or either way is fine. Okay, Prabhu's this side, Mataji's that side. There is a place to sit for Matajis.
Right here.
No, it's this side.
Hare Krishna. Yes. The second stand is at Ramesh Prabhu's home, so they are calling to check whether I will be here soon or not. As soon as we have the Mangalachan prayers, it's a test until then. So please. Please kindly repeat after me.
You can try. It's connected.
Somehow the computer and TV are not talking to each other. It's like the wife and husband. Supposed to work, it doesn't work. Okay, please kindly repeat while you figure it out. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Takta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So today we move to this side for a reason. So let us welcome our host for the program. Today I am not hosting the program. I am only going to answer whatever questions our dear Bhagyashri asks. Let's put our hands together for welcoming Bhagyashri. So we thought just to shake up things and keep everyone awake. I know many people told me that Prabhu, your sessions are the best. I said, wow, how? I said, we get the best sleep in your classes only. I have never slept like that. There is a spiritual explanation. I heard somewhere that when people sleep in your class, feel happy because their material anxieties have been so fully squashed. People are finally able to sleep nicely. So I take it positively also. Wow, okay. So that's not an invitation for you to sleep in the sessions though. So we thought we will have a more interactive session and we'll try to see how this will work out. So I will hand it over to Bhagyashri now.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for inviting me here. It's really a blessing to have to have a podcast with you. Today we have a very special soul, someone I deeply admire, Shyam Jagannath Prabhuji. He is dedicated devotee to Radha Krishna and respected member of ISKCON community. He spent his life in the immense devotion and sharing his spiritual wisdom with us. It's a true honor for me to have this opportunity to ask you a few questions and receive a few glimpses of your life, your journey, and some insight for the chanting. Thank you for having me again.
Thank you. I don't know if I'm a special soul or not, but let me share a couple of things about Bhagyashree. She doesn't know what I'm speaking. I know what she's going to ask, most of it at least. But Bhagyashree, she is born and brought up in Jain culture, but she is married to a Brajavasi. So that means something. Braj Bhakti is not so common. So I can say, of the two people sitting here, there is one elevated personality, and that's certainly not me. So that's Bhagyashree. So let us hear very attentively what she's going to ask, and I know whatever she is asking for my own benefit. So thank you for joining us.
Prabhuji, to start with my questions, could you please share a little bit about your early life, how you got contact with ISKCON teachings, and how you drew deeply into this spiritual path?
Okay, before we begin, can I request everyone to move forward, especially if you don't have a wall seat to hand out? Okay, my spiritual journey. So, I grew up in a typical South Indian family. My parents are more ritualistic than spiritual, in the beginning at least. That's what it seemed like. So, most of the year, God is someone, we would go to Shivalaya, Lord Shiva's temple, every Monday. The deal is, if we go to the temple in the morning, we would get some nice breakfast item as a dinner. So some special, some small laddus or punuku or gulab jamun, some item, some special item. That was my motivation. So we would go in the morning, wake up at 5 o'clock, go to temple. We would break coconut, eat little, sit in the temple for 30 seconds and come. But I would especially become very philosophical on Ganesh Chaturthi, because like most Indians do, we fast on Ganesh Chaturthi. In our home, the culture is that until you do some Ganesh Puja, you're not supposed to eat also. And that is the day where the pujaris in the village are in most demand. I'm usually tasked with going and finding a pujari. So there is a huge line standing outside of people who are already doing puja, and then you go with that pujari wherever he goes, and eventually your number comes. So on those days I would become particularly philosophical and ask my mom, "Hey, how come your loving God enjoys me suffering, fasting on such days?" My mother would try to give some explanation, but nothing would satisfy me. So naturally, I would eventually say, "No, this is not good. I don't want to fast." She would say, "As long as you're in our house, you will follow what I say." That's usually the last sentence between our spiritual discussions. So whatever explanation she may give, I am not satisfied, and I would say something rebellious, and her power is there. And my dad would look at me from the side, indicating, possibly thinking, "Do you think I am a fool not to say anything?" Just follow whatever she says. So that is how my hunger for spiritual knowledge has increased. And I'm very grateful to my parents to have given very good culture and respect and some attraction for spiritual knowledge. And eventually in 2004, when I came to engineering, ISKCON had a session there. Does God exist? I said, "Wow, this is for me only." And I went there and I attended many sessions, and eventually got connected to ISKCON. And over the last 10, 12 years, I would say, we have become more serious in practicing after our children are born. Because I could see I have a deadline now. Till then, I'm like, yeah, I can chant whenever I'm able to chant, whenever life allows me to chant. But once my first son was born, so that's when I realized. I used to spend a lot of time on my phone. I used to play some simple games like Temple Run. I decided, do I want my children also to become like that? I said, okay, no. At that point, I started making some changes and have decided to be more pakka devotee, you can say. And many people ask me, when did you join ISKCON? I would like to think like this. I'm not saying this out of humility, but ISKCON stands for International Society for Krishna Consciousness. So this is a society of people who are conscious of Krishna. So I would love to say I am conscious of Krishna, but I am not. So I am longing for that day where I am conscious of Krishna all the time, and I can then finally say I have joined ISKCON. So till then, I am like a dog roaming around the perimeter of ISKCON, hoping one day I will get entrance to ISKCON. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Let's dive into the topic that we have in our hand today, the scientific benefits and glories of chanting holy name. So the first question I have for you is when we hear the sound of vibration, it has some special spiritual power. Why is sound considered so important in our Vedic culture, and what kind of effects it has on our consciousness?
Yeah, actually, specifically sound. Of all the senses we have, sound is given specific importance. Because we see sound can either uplift people or can actually make them dissatisfied or degraded in life. Just to warm up the atmosphere, I'll tell one joke. Once one beggar went to one Jamindar's house and he said, "Sir, you have the best house in the entire village." The beggar was asking. And the owner of the house, he said, "Oh, my dear wife, I put a golden anklet inside. Can you please bring it?" So the beggar thought, wow, this is very nice. He said, "Let me try my luck more." He said, "Sir, wow, what a dress sense you have. You wear the best dress in the entire village." The owner said, "My dear wife, next to that bracelet, I also put a golden chain. Please bring that also." Wow, this is working, the beggar thought. He said, "Sir, you have the best vehicles in the entire village." The owner said, "Oh, my dear wife, next to that chain, there is a stack of money, 1 lakh rupees like that. Please bring that also." The beggar thought, for today this is enough. Already this is too much. So he's waiting. And as he's waiting, the owner was sitting there only. But Mataji is not coming. Waited. After some time, he went to the owner and he said, "Sir, where is that golden bracelet that you're talking about? Where is the chain? The stack of cash? Can you please ask Mataji to get it?" The owner said, "How did you please me?" "Through words." "How did I please you?" "Through words only." So that's all you'll get for today. So words actually have a very uplifting effect. And it can also have, many a times we talk to people, it's often in relationships, we see wife and husband, children. it's not so much physical that we go through. It's actually mostly someone says something and that hurts us a lot. So words do have power. Words do have, materially we can see words have influence. Even for example, we hear, those who we hear nice instrumental sattvic music, or music like this, for example. You're sleeping, for example. I mean, I'm sure you have this experience. Sometimes there is music that puts you to sleep. Very nice music. And then you say, oh, very nice. And then it's very relaxing. Morning alarms are usually not like that. Morning alarms are supposed to wake you up. And ting, 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 ting. So, we hear some nice music that is very uplifting and very satisfying, soothing, very peaceful. But we also hear sometimes rock music. And you're thinking, oh God. Actually, there is music that agitates us. There is music that soothes us. So even in this world, we have different types of musics like that. So sound does have effect in our consciousness. And it is mentioned, the ability to hear is actually one of the first senses that is given to the soul, even when he or she is in the womb. So that's why children usually don't develop eyesight even after birth. It is mentioned first 15 days their vision is even blurry and black and white. Their ability to touch is also only developing. But only after few months in the womb, baby actually can respond to sound. We know the famous story of Prahlad Maharaj, how he was hearing Srimad Bhagavatam when he was in the womb. So sound is one of the first senses that is given to the soul. And sound is also one of the last senses to go away. That's why we see when people are leaving this world on their deathbed, people are chanting mantras, Narayan Kavach and things like that. Sound is also one of the last senses to be taken away from the soul, from us. So God is hoping, is giving us the maximum opportunity. Maybe He'll hear about spiritual knowledge early enough or late enough, like that. So sound, yes, in that sense is particularly significant. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, for someone who is new to the spirituality like me, what do you mean by mantra here?
Mantra. Manah trayate iti mantra. Manah means the mind. Trayate means delivers or liberates or gives freedom. So it's something that liberates the mind. Usually the mind is either thinking and lamenting about the past. Arey, if I have done like this, would have been nice. If I sold my shares early, would have been nice. Or if I sold my shares later, would have been nice. Like that. If I did like this, if I studied well in my college, would have been nice. So mind is either lamenting about the past or it is worrying about the future. So very rarely does the mind actually live in the present. So trayate, what does mantra does? Mantra liberates the mind from the lamentation of the past or the anxiety of the future. That's one thing. Mantra also liberates or frees the mind. It is mentioned, mind is one of the main place where lust, anger, greed, the three great gates to hell. These are the three gates to hell. Bhagavad Gita mentions how there are three highways to hell. Lust means uncontrollable desire for things that are prohibited, things that are said, okay, these are not good for you, but the mind wants it. So those are uncontrollable desires to enjoy. That's actually a very broad definition of things that are prohibited. So that is lust. Lust, anger. And when that lust is not fulfilled, somebody comes between us and my desire to be fulfilled, somebody stops us. Children, we are watching a movie and children come and they say, I also want to watch a movie, or I am hungry, please feed me something. Then immediately, go ask your papa or go ask your mama. We become angry. So anytime our enjoyment is stopped, then we become angry. Lust, anger and greed. When what we want is fulfilled, we want more. So we want more is greed. Lust, anger, greed. LAG. If we are lagging in life, it usually is because of these three things. So what does mantra do? Mantra actually liberates the mind from these three: lust, anger, greed, envy, pride, and illusion at broad. So mantra liberates us from this and then actually takes us, it not only cuts off the negative, it also, some mantras give us the positive as well. It makes the mind peaceful, happy, satisfied, joyful, like that. So that's what mantra does.
I never knew about this. Thank you for enlightening us. So there are many paths to the spiritual practices like yagna or silent meditation. Why ISKCON only ask us to chant? Why specifically chanting?
Yes, many people wonder actually. This ISKCON people don't do much only. Always putting their hands in the bead bag and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. You also chant, you also chant. So yeah, there are yajnas, there are so many things one can do. There is a very beautiful verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam that mentions Krite yad dhyayato Vishnu Tretayam yajato makai Dwapare paricharyayam Kalau tad hari kirtanat. So there are different things that are mentioned in the Shastra that are beneficial for spiritual progress, for self-realization, for God realization at different ages of existence. So in Satya Yuga, in Krita Yuga, where there is complete peace, everybody is sattvic, everybody wakes up in the morning at 3:30, everything is very good. In such a situation, it is mentioned, Krite yad dhyayato Vishnu. Meditation on Vishnu is the recommended process. But in the next age, which is Treta Yuga, okay, I'll keep my answer short. We discussed so. In Treta Yuga, the recommended process is yajna. That's why we see when Lord Sri Ram was there, Vishwamitra and all the sages, they are doing a lot of yajnas. They would build huge yajnastalis, hundreds of kilometers big, and amazing yajnas people would do. Very long yajnas also. But the age for the amount of years that they lived was also long. So they were able to do that also. Tretayam yajato makai Dwapare paricharyayam. In Dwapar Yuga, the ingredients were no longer clean to do yajna. And as every yuga passes, there are 4 legs of dharma. So each leg of dharma is slowly degrades. And by the time it comes to Dwapar Yuga, there is no austerity and no cleanliness. So in Dwapar Yuga, deity worship is recommended. That's why we see huge temples being built and very elaborate worship of the deities was the way to realize self and God. Self-realization and God realization was through deity worship. How many yugas did we cover?
3.
First one is? What was the means of self-realization? Meditation. Not just on anyone, meditation on Dhyayato Vishnu. And second? Treta Yuga, which is Yuga. And then third is Dwapar. And the means of self-realization is deity worship. And Kalau Tad Hari Kirtanat. In Kali Yuga, the means of self-realization is Hari Kirtan, chanting the names of Vishnu. So that's why we see ISKCON usually emphasizes chanting as the main means. We usually have chanting at the beginning, chanting at the end, and then as dessert we have prasadam also. Once my spiritual master was asked, "What is your favorite sweet?" And he said, "I like many sweets, but the best sweet I like is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra," he said. Because it is the sweet of the sweet, the most sweetest thing there is, according to Shastra. It is Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We are very blessed to have you, Prabhuji. Then we come here every week for the Kirtan. Thank you.
Me too. Thank you.
So is this chanting is unique to the Vedic tradition? Is it? Do we often see on the other traditions importance of chanting as well in other religion?
Yes. Actually, this was a revelation for me as well. When I started understanding about spirituality, I thought other religion don't have much in common with Sanatana Dharma. But I realized later as we study, and I think in one of our previous sessions, one God or many God, when was that? 2 weeks ago. We discussed about how there are so many common things between religion. Only superficially we see differences. Those who don't understand the purpose of each of these religions see so many differences. But the main thing that's emphasized in Christianity, Mohammedanism, Judaism, Buddhism, Sikhism, even Jainism, actually each of them, my mother-in-law, Shamakumari, is from a Jain background. So we go to their house. So she chants also. So they also have a mantra in Jainism, I'm sure you're familiar, that they chant every day in the morning as well. In Christianity, Jesus Christ said, "O Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name." In modern English, it means, "O Father, who is in the spiritual world." Heaven in Christianity means spiritual world for us. Let your names be glorified. Let your names be purify all of us, like that. Indicating names of God are very purifying and beneficial for everyone. Even in Muslim tradition, they chant the names of Allah. So once we went to, I think we were in an airport. So I was chanting, I think Dubai airport, of all the places. So it was 5 hours or 4 hours layover in the airport. So we went to chant in the prayer room. So as I entered, I saw 2-3 people. And I saw that there is one Muslim who is chanting. And I saw another person who is a Christian who is chanting. And I thought, wow, this is so nice. I went there just to check. Then I thought, this is very nice place. So I sat there and chanted a few mantras. And then when the Muslim got up to leave, he offered his obeisances by bowing down. So they do namaz. I think Ramadan is going on now. So we also offered our obeisances like that. So because they're all wonderful souls practicing their spiritual path. And even Guru Nanak, the founder of Sikhism, he said, in the ambrosial hours of morning, let me taste the nectarian names of the Lord. Something like that. So, we have some help also there. In the ambrosial hours of the morning, I meditate on the grace of the true name. Thank you, Vivek Prabhu. He knows Shyam Jagannath Prabhu needs some help. So, so yeah, all religion like that. Even Buddhists, they also chant the names of Buddha. So, I hope that's helpful.
And that's very useful for me to know, at least. So why is it called Maha Mantra, and what is the speciality behind this mantra?
Yeah, there are so many mantras coming. I think for us, coming from India, many of us are exposed to many different types of mantras from our childhood. Why is the Hare Krishna called the Maha Mantra? Because mantras, there are some mantras that are more powerful, there are some mantras which are less powerful. There are some mantras which have less rules, there are some mantras which have more rules. So I was remembering one story of Hanuman that comes in one version of Ramayana, where Ravana was performing some yajna towards the end of the war. He was performing some yajna to gain strength, to develop, and that yajna, if it is done successfully, he would get immense strength, and I think he was performing to Kali, something like that. So Hanuman, who is very intelligent, he entered as a Brahmana with the other Brahmanas. And every day, it's a multi-day yajna. So they were performing this yajna. So every day he would go and assist all the other Brahmanas. All the Brahmanas were so satisfied with this young Brahmana. They asked him at the last day, "Hare, you have been helping us so much. What would you like us to do for you?" Hanuman, very intelligently, he asked, "The last mantra that you're going to chant as part of this yajna, I would like you to make one small correction. So instead of saying it's something like Bhuta Karini, something like that, to Bhiti Karini. Meaning, Bhuta Karini means bestower of all good things. Bhiti Karini means bestower of fear." So one small difference. So the Brahmanas recited the rest of the day, and the last mantra of the last day of yajna, to please Hanuman, they just said Bhiti Karini. And Ravana, instead of becoming happy because he has performed yajna and becoming more powerful, he is actually now bestowed with more fear. So, and eventually, of course, we know he lost the war and all that. So there are some mantras where the technicalities matter. So the Maha Mantra is very special in the sense that Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He actually takes the essence of the devotee's mood. When our bhava is right, but actions are incorrect. Instead of, for example, doing arati like this, we do arati opposite. Instead of offering food first and then water next, we first give water and then food. Some order usually is supposed to be followed. But even if we don't do that, Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He looks at, okay, all right, I'll take the good from whatever they are offering. So the Maha Mantra is also like that. Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Even if we make mistakes in chanting, I mentioned sometimes there are some Russian devotees who come to the ISKCON temple here. Their chanting is very different because their upbringing, I suppose. They chant Hare Krishna very funny. They say Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is how Russians pronounce usually. So Krishna. So if a Smartha Brahmana from India, he sees what are they, and even sometimes Russian, they are pujaris. They are doing puja and yajnas also. So regular Indian Brahmanas, if they see, what is this? Hari Hari, why are they chanting mantras like this? People may feel. But in bhakti, in the process of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra chanting, Krishna is Bhavagrahi. He ignores whatever good bhav we have, he takes. Sometimes if we have bad bhav, but good action, then Krishna takes good action. At least he is offering obeisances nicely. Even though he is asking for wrong things, no problem, I think. So Maha Mantra is also like that. Maha Mantra is more merciful in the sense it doesn't take our offenses. And not only that, it actually gives the highest benediction a living entity can get, which is not freedom from bad habits, which it does give. We will talk more later, I suppose. The Hare Krishna Maha Mantra actually frees us from bad habits. It actually gives us punya shravana kirtana. Just by hearing, we get punya. Can you imagine giving lakhs of rupees versus just sitting in a Gita class or kirtan, and just by hearing, we get punya. Punya shravana kirtana. Hridayantastu hi abhadrani vidunoti sruvatsatam. So Maha Mantra is special because of these extraordinary qualities that it has. So Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I always wondered why are we praying and what should we pray when we chant? Do you have any?
It is mentioned just as the heart is the central place for the body, pumping up the blood. Service attitude is the heart of service. What is the mood in which we do service is the heart of service. Service attitude is the heart of service. Similarly, the prayerful mood is the heart of prayer or chanting. So when we pray many a times, because we are so used to doing it mechanically, because every other aspect of life in general, I think, unfortunately, we are very mechanical. So sometimes people ask in office, hey, how is your weekend? It's just a mechanical ask. You try answering not good. They're not going to bother. What answer you gave, they don't care on. They'll ask you, how's your weekend? You say, terrible. Oh, very nice. How about this bug? Did you have any updates on this? Like that. They don't care what your answer is. It's just a mechanical aspect showing that they care, but they don't. So similarly, when all of these unfortunate bad habits get into spiritual practices also, when we are praying or doing spiritual practices also, we see many people, they are performing some spiritual activity, some puja they may be doing, but they are thinking of something else. They're thinking, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. Today kids have early school, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Maybe idli will take too long. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare. Maybe I'll make upma, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. But jeedpappi is over, cashew is over. I should ask my husband to get it from there. Ram, Ram, Ram. Arey suno! So like that. So the heart of chanting is actually prayerful mood. So what should we pray for when we chant? Of course, we can pray for many, many things. The basic is the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The meaning is Hare stands for the O energy of the Lord. Energy of the Lord as in Srimati Radharani, Lakshmi, Sita Devi. The feminine energy of the Lord. It's like the mother. O mother. So when we chant Hare, we are referring to O mother. Krishna stands for Akarshati iti Krishna. Something that is very attractive is called Krishna. So of all the people, there are so many things that attract us. But Krishna is the most attractive personality. The Supreme Personality, of course, he better be very attractive. How can he be called God if he is not most attractive? Rama stands for Ramante Yogino Anante Sadananda Chidatmani. The name of Rama, very beautiful meaning. Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions that Rama means the pleasure. He is the reservoir of pleasure. Not just reservoir of pleasure. He is attractive to yogis who are able to control all their senses and who are able to say no to all material enjoyment. There is so much material beauty in this world. Someone who is able to control their senses completely, if they are attracted to God, then it means something. If we are attracted to God, oh, very nice dress today, very beautiful. Sometimes we see some chocolate there and we say, no, very nice chocolate also. So we getting attracted to God is not a great glorification for God. But yogis who are able to control their senses, they are attracted to God. So that's something. So Rama means the reservoir of all pleasure. So when we are chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What it means is, O energy of the Lord, O Srimati Radharani, Sita, Lakshmi, whatever is our mood. O Krishna, O Rama, please engage me in your service. So that's the meaning of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Very simple. Prabhupada says that please engage me in your service. I am currently being engaged by my senses. My senses are engaging me in so many things. Eat this, drink this, see them, look at this, enjoy this, like that. And we are trying to serve our senses again and again and again. But they are not satisfied. There is a very beautiful verse that mentions, I have been serving my senses for so many lifetimes, but they are very bad masters. They are not satisfied with my service. But finally now I am coming to realize that this is not a good master to serve. So I want to serve you, O Srimati Radharani, O Krishna. Please engage me in your service. Let me do everything that I do for your pleasure. Let me do everything that I do for my purification, for my upliftment, for the upliftment of my family. So please engage me in your service. So that's the meaning of the mantra. That's the prayer in which, that's the mood in which we pray the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra.
Hare Krishna. I know you are, I don't know about myself, but I think you are 100% engaged in the service.
That also 100% I can confirm I'm not, unfortunately. I wish soon we will be able to, but yeah, it's I was giving this analogy. In spiritual progress is not like a switch. You are material and next day you become spiritual. It's not like that. It's like that modern switch where your spirituality is little bit on, can be more on, and then eventually we'll become more and more spiritual like that. So hopefully.
So Prabhuji, we want to deep dive now, since I have more questions on the science and psychology of this chanting. So we live in the scientific world. Is there any research which back up the psychology of the chanting?
Yeah, actually, of course, we like to think we are people of modern science. How can you blindly believe in anything? There is blind doubt, blind faith, and then there is blind doubt. Many people blindly doubt everything spirituality has to offer. Actually, both are not good. Blind faith means you don't understand why and how it works. We simply follow. And that's what many of our ancestors have done. And you ask them why you are doing what you're doing, they have no idea. And many times you will see, because they are doing it mechanically without understanding, they didn't have the spirit, the mood in which to do it. So when you do a ritual without understanding the spirit behind why you do what you do, it is a mechanical ritual. But when you understand the spirit behind what we do, then it becomes spiritual. Spirit, ritual, spiritual. So we do have, there is some wonderful research that went into, I will quote just 3 or 4 that are close to my heart. So one is, you can see here, Dr. B. Wolf. He has done PhD from University of Florida. So he has done the effects of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. How does it actually affect anxiety, stress? How does it have any effect on bad habits like alcohol, smoking, like that? So they took around 90 people, 90 or so people. So they divided into 3 groups. So one group is called, I don't know if you are familiar with how science experiments are conducted on people. They have a control group. They do first of all, they do a research on a lot of people. Everybody fills up forms, and they take people that they feel have controllable environment. The scientists can control their environment, and they are all representative of diverse areas. But then they are able to do this experiment without any external influence. I'll explain what that means. So they have a control group. 1/3 of it is control. Meaning this group is not going to do anything. They're going to live the way they lived. They're going to get exposed to the same world news that everybody else goes through. So for 30 days they conducted this experiment. One group, control group. One group was given some pseudo mantra, some made up mantra, and they were asked to chant every day in the morning for 20 minutes. The third group was given the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and they were asked to chant every day in the morning for 20 minutes. So they took both blood tests, and then you will see, oh yeah, there is. On the right hand side you see, they hooked up some brain activity measuring thing which can measure the activities of different regions of the brain and understand how much anxiety it is. Actually, it's quite extraordinary. There's so much in the last 20 years, science has advanced in measuring and understanding anxiety, ADHD and things like that, just by looking at the brain scans, blood flow in the brain. Based on that, they're able to identify. So Dr. Wolf, what he did is he measured the brain and blood flow of all these people at the beginning of the experiment, documented them. At the end of 30 days, he measured for all of them again. If you go to the next chart, there is some, I think I explained whatever, so we can skip, yeah. So they saw that people who chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 20 minutes every day, for just 30 days, they saw significant improvement. They are no longer stressful. And their depression has gone down as well, meaning they are more joyful in life. Sattvagun activities that relate to happiness, being joyful, those also have increased. There are also reports that people who chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra for 30 days, they felt their family life has improved. They said their urge to consume alcohol and smoking and drugs, that has reduced. So you are welcome to do more research. I'm only giving you a trailer here. Dr. David Wolf, Florida University. There is a 1 hour, 20-minute class if you want to hear. He presented his entire thesis on this, so you're welcome. So that's my first proof. So we will have a second proof, which is about alpha zone. This is again a very interesting phenomenon. Just by measuring the activity in the brain, there is something called gamma waves, alpha waves, beta waves. So those, again, these are just some random names that's stamped on people, but alpha waves are known when the brain emits alpha waves. It usually indicates a healthy, positive, happy mind. So they measured the brain wave frequency, and when people are very drowsy and sleepy, the number of cycles is less than 8. And when the mind is hyperactive, very active, then it is operating at a much higher frequency. There is between these two zones called relaxed alert zone, where somebody is relaxed but they are alert. So this is the zone where people feel most happy. In zone below, they feel drowsy and sleepy. People who are spending a lot of time in hyperactive zones, they are the people who are always stressful. In fact, it is mentioned, I was reading one article, somebody in Japan, they were measuring like this. He was completely stressed out, and his brain frequencies was measured at 25, and he died while they were taking the measurement. So too much hyperactivity, too much stress is also not good. Of course, all of us have practical experience of it. You're working on stressful project back to back to back, and after some days you'll be like, my brain is fried. Like that. So what they noticed is those who chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra in the morning, they spend most of their time in this alpha zone category, the yellow zone, where they are alert, where they are not sleepy, they are active, but not hyperactive. They are rightly active. So that's the second thing we want to show you. There is one person, because of course, anytime you attend a spiritual session, they're of course going to say anything that aligns with us. So I found one more person who is speaking about this, alpha zone.
We want to do things to maintain our health. I exercise, I eat properly, I get enough sleep. I'm saying for a few minutes, twice a day, you do something that absolutely, according to the research, wakes up the creative networks in the brain, calms the amygdala, your fear emotional center, calms the sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight or flight, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, And when you do the meditation, it creates this alpha-1, this restful alertness in a coherent way. It bathes the whole brain during that 20 minutes. And the reason why we're doing it is not for that 20 minutes. The reason why we're doing it is for the 10 hours afterwards. It reduces cortisol levels by 30 to 40%. Too much of it is a terrible stress hormone. Nothing else does that. It raises serotonin levels. It increases dopamine. And it just makes us more healthy in ourself.
Right? I hope that's more faith-giving. Actually, he's mentioning about how those who chant, they actually become less stressful just by chanting. You'll notice this actually. Though if you start practice of chanting every day, you'll notice this. You can take a diary, just write what your mindset is right now. What are your thoughts, how stressful you are, what's bothering you. And do this after a month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year later. You'll be amazed actually. You'll think, wow, was this me? Wow, so much change you will notice in yourself. And self-experience is the best proof. I mean, he can speak, I can speak. So you can experiment your own. So that's the second thing. So first one was about the PhD thesis, about control group and all that. Second one is about this alpha zone. Third is something that I heard recently, but looks like this is a very big, okay. So in London, they, I'll just briefly mention in the interest of time. You can search up online, London Sanskrit effect on brain. So Sanskrit is a very powerful language. Just by reciting Sanskrit verses on a regular basis, mantras, any mantras, but any Sanskrit mantras in general, they actually exercise all parts of the mouth and all parts of the brain are also exercised. It's quite interesting. Just by reciting Sanskrit mantras regularly, there is data to prove that our ability to remember, our memory power increases, it seems. So there is much more research is warranted in this area. So those who chant, they are shown to have more memory, they're able to recollect more, they're able to remember more. This is quite an interesting study that they do. And then the fourth one is what I found out recently, but looks like it's been a study that's going on for quite some time. It's called BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, it seems. Very complex, but in summary, it can be said as it is the fertilizer for the brain. Just as fertilizers help grow the plants, similarly the neurons in the brain, they grow when this protein is abundantly available. So whenever this protein is available, what it does is it does three things. It helps, it basically nourishes the neurons that are in the brain. I'm sure all of you know our brain is primarily made of neurons and all the connectivity. The AI technology is actually neural network training. Weightage is between two neurons getting connected. How much weight is? Anyway, I don't know how much of AI and so anyway, it looks like most of you don't follow. So what this BDNF does, it actually makes the neurons more healthy. So you remember more. Alzheimer's in old age won't happen soon. Your brain is stronger, number one. Number two, it is able to remember more. Number three, it is able to connect with other neurons much better when this protein is available. And how do we get this protein? It is mentioned primarily through two things. There are many things that can be done, but two things that give BDNF like nothing else. Any guesses what those two activities are? Many of you are very intelligent. Okay, we give you 50%. One is chanting or meditation. You know what is the other one? Sleep, it seems. Okay. Service. Maybe, sure.
Holy name.
Holy name is chanting. Actually, the second one is exercise. physical exercise. So those who exercise on a regular basis and those who do meditation. So this BDNF increases in their brain, which means we are likely to remember more. The brain is more healthy. So I don't know, it's a little shorter, but we can quickly play.
In 2025, a study published in Communication Biology followed a week-long intensive led by Dr. George Spencer and a team of neuroscientists and molecular researchers, 20 healthy adults involved. Before and after the retreat, researchers scanned their brains and analyzed their blood, proteins, metabolites, and molecular markers, mapping both neural networks and cellular chemistry. During deep meditation, the default network, the brain system linked to self-talk and identity, becomes less integrated, less mental noise, less ego looping. At the same time, markers linked to neuroplasticity increased, including BDNF, a protein that supports neural growth. When post-retreat plasma was applied to neurons in vitro, neuroid growth significantly increased. Their blood carried a signal of plasticity. Researchers also observed shifts in cellular energy metabolism, immune signaling, and endogenous opioids like beta endorphin, the body's natural pain relief chemistry. Brain networks shifted. Biology responded, all within 7 days. This wasn't a placebo-controlled-led trial, but one of the first studies shows coordinated changes in both brain connectivity and molecular biology after intensive mind-body practice. If you don't want an intensive retreat, start simple. 5 minutes per day, replace doom scrolling with heart-brain coherence breathing. Consistency matters more than intensity. If you want guidance, our beta app is in the bio.
So, again, you can search a little more if you're interested about this. BDNF is the name, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So this is the fourth scientific evidence, and there is much more research that can be done. Now we need scientists. Any scientists here? Anyone who has done PhD here? I know a couple. Okay, one. You also did? No, you did masters. Okay. So we need more PhD students who will give you all the support needed. But yes, so those are some scientific research to say that chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is not just a sentiment of the few.
I always wonder that in terms of neurological perspective, you might have some benefits to the brain, but today I just saw the
full version of it. That's nice.
So now I would like to hear some stories from you. So where is chanting mentioned in Shastras?
Yes. This usually ISKCON is known for Shastra. We read a lot and we quote a lot. You see all these books. That's our goal, to read them and to, of course, reading, getting information is one aspect, but transforming our life is the more important part. So we do have, there's so many. I thought in the interest of time, I'll pick maybe 3 or 4 verses. So I put together, I think in those, I don't know if we have all of them there. Okay, no, we don't have. So here is a couple of verses.
In 2025.
So in 2026, Narada Muni, not in 2026, Narada Muni asked at the beginning of Kali Yuga to Brahma. He said, "O Brahma, Kali Yuga is beginning. People in Kali Yuga, they are short-lived, they have uncontrollable anger, they are easily distracted and always disturbed. How can people of Kali Yuga practice spirituality?" So in answer to this question from Narada Muni, Brahma, so this conversation is recorded in a Upanishad called Kali Santarani Upanishad. And in that Upanishad is this famous Mahamantra quoted, where he says, "Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare." Iti shodashakanamnam kali kalmashanashanam nata paratarupaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. It says this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Iti shodashakanamnam. So this 16 syllable mantra, Iti shodashaka namnam kali kalmashanashanam. It actually destroys all kalmashas of all, basically all bad things of Kali Yuga. Kali kalmashanashanam nata parataro upaya. Upaya means idea. Paratara, better idea. Nata, there is no better idea than this. Nato parataro upaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. If you search all the Vedas, there is no better idea than the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in the age of Kali to counteract the... So that's what Brahma, who is the creator of all these 14 planets within the universe, is telling us. He's giving us the prescription. Saying you don't want to have the influence of Kali Yuga, then chant this. So that's one. There are many. Here is another verse. Kalir dosha nide rajan astihi eko mahagunan kirtanadeva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajet. This verse mentions about in Kali Yuga, Kalir dosha nidhi. It's the mountain of faults, it seems. Kalir dosha nidhi rajan astihi eko mahagunam. But there is one good quality, one great quality of this Kali Yuga. What is that great quality? Kirtanadeva Krishnasya. Just by doing Kirtan of Krishna, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya, Mukta Sangha, we will be liberated from the Sangha, the bad influence, bad association that we find in this world. Mukta Sangha, liberated, not only liberated, but Param Vrajet. We will be able to go to the highest spiritual destination. Param means highest. So we will be able to go to the highest destination in the spiritual world. So that is another verse that's coming from Srimad Bhagavatam. So yeah, there are a couple that I quoted for your patience. There are many more. Shastras and Srimad Bhagavatam itself, actually, it ends with another beautiful verse. If I go on, I think. So there are so many things like that.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So we often hear hippies are hippie become happies. How chanting holy name transforms people's life in the modern world? What do you think? How do they?
Yes, of course. We hear so many stories of the holy name transforming people's heart from Shastra. Like we hear the story of, for example, Ratnakar, who was a hunter, who would take pleasure in half killing animals. He would not kill animals to eat their meat, but he would take pleasure in half killing animals. It's a demoniac pleasure. As the animals were withering away their last few moments, he would half kill them just to see them suffer. So he enjoyed their suffering. So he became, by the touch of Valmiki, by the touch of Narada Muni, he became Valmiki. There are many stories like that. There is also the story of Ajamila, who named his 10th son Narayana. So he, at the time of his death, on his deathbed, he saw some ghostly creatures coming from hell, basically, that Yamaraj sent. And he called out to his son, because he was very attached to his son all along his life. I think we were discussing in our Gita session, whatever we are most attached to throughout our life is what we will take shelter at the time of death. If we are attached to, in your life, you can do the survey. When you are stressed out at work, some things are not working. You are doing something but not working. What would you immediately do? Would you go to Facebook? You go to call mom, TikTok. Some people alcohol, smoke. Some people brain is not working, too much stressed out. They step out to smoke. So whatever we take shelter of at the time of death is where we will go to. So he naturally was very attracted to his son Narayana. So he called out, Narayana! Some bad people have come. And he called out like that. His son did not hear him, could not hear him. But the Supreme Narayana, the Supreme Lord Narayana heard him. He sent Vishnu Dutas. Vishnu Duta said, my Lord, he is not calling out to you. But Narayana said, no, you please still go. But there is a history on why this came out to be. Maybe I'll narrate this story some other time. But because Ajamila did wonderfully well in the first phase of his life. The first 25 years he practiced brahmacharya. He was a wonderful devotee. He would practice bhakti nicely. But eventually he saw a prostitute and fell in love with her. He fell in lust with her, and he did abominable things over the next 25 to 80 is how much? Next 55 years. For next 55 years there is nothing wrong he did not do, which means he did all wrong things basically. So when he called out to his son Narayana, Vishnu Dutas came, and Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas were facing each other. Yamadutas never saw Vishnu Dutas, because usually when do Yamadutas come? Only whenever there is a sinful person leaving his body, Yamadutas come to take him to hell and punish him. So Vishnu Dutas, when do Vishnu Dutas come? Somebody who is completely liberated, who has no material desires, no selfish desire to enjoy exists, then Vishnu Dutas come to take them back to the spiritual world. So they usually never come face to face. So Vishnu Dutas and Yamadutas saw, Hare, how did these guys come? They tried to show their power. Right? No, this is mine. But Vishnu Dutas, with just their simple glance, they broke Yamapasha. There's a very long story of how they save Ajamil. Ajamil actually gets a second chance. Prabhupada wrote a book called The Second Chance. For the next 12 years, Ajamil in his current body realizes he saw this drama and understood, wow, bhakti is actually powerful. The holy name is actually very powerful. And then over the next 12 years, he practiced chanting. And then at the end of 12 years, Vishnu Dutas came again, this time to take him back to the spiritual world. So we hear many old stories like that, but I think you asked about some modern stories. Any stories that happened in the recent times.
Yes.
Of course, there are many. I'm assuming everybody knows Ford Motors, Ford cars. So when Srila Prabhupada was, I think this is Central America, Central East, I don't know precisely where. But the grandson of Ford, the founder of Ford Industries, his name is Alfred Ford. He was also an executive vice president of Ford Industry for a long time. He got attracted because he was born in wealth. He had everything that he wanted, but he still was not satisfied in life. Somehow he came in contact with devotees and he was attracted to the movement of Srila Prabhupada, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, to ISKCON. And eventually Alfred Ford, he took in our spiritual practices, we start chanting 1 round, 4 rounds, 8 rounds, 16 rounds, like that. Eventually we accept, it's a formal acceptance of spiritual practice, what we call as initiation or diksha, where a spiritual name is given. So Alfred Ford became Ambarish Das. So now he is still a practicing devotee and he uses his intelligence and influence to help ISKCON in many ways. So he became a wonderful devotee. So that's one modern story of a very rich person becoming a devotee. Another personality, very popular personality. There is no one who most people, maybe 80% of the people in the world might know him. He is probably the most popular personality ever, even till date, including Elon Musk, Sachin Tendulkar, all these guys. Because in 1960s, music was life for many people. And the best music band is, anybody knows? Beatles. The best music band this world has ever seen. Nobody could come to the popularity that Beatles have came up to. One of the popular person among Beatles is George Harrison. So he, of course, he went to India to meet sadhus and gurus like that. And eventually he met Srila Prabhupada. And he wanted to take initiation from Srila Prabhupada. He wanted to take Diksha from Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada gave him the name George Hari's son. So George Harrison became George Hari's son. So he said, your name, Krishna has bestowed you with popularity. How can, actually spirituality, many people think spirituality means renunciation, giving up wealth, giving up comforts, family life like that. Actually, spirituality doesn't mean external renunciation. Spirituality really is internal renunciation. What is renunciation anyway? Nothing is yours to give up. What we think as my money, my car, my intelligence, my wealth is not ours actually. It is given to us temporarily. So it is not yours to give up anyway. So when we use our skills, our knowledge, our intelligence, our influence, our wealth in service of Krishna, that is real renunciation. So Srila Prabhupada asked George Harrison to use his skills in glorification of Hari. And then George Harrison started writing, I think they released the album, Hare Krishna album, which became the most best-selling album for a long time like that. So that is another personality who's very popular, has seen immense material success. Another name that comes to my mind is Will Smith, another popular Hollywood hero. So he is also now a practicing devotee. He chants the Hare Krishna Mahamantra 16 malas every day. So Will Smith, I'm sure everybody knows some people like Will Smith.
We follow Sadhguru, yeah.
So Will Smith actually, his mentor, his spiritual mentor is Jai Shetty. Actually, Jai Shetty is also an ISKCON devotee. Jai Shetty, he lived as a monk he was born and brought up in London, and then for service he moved to LA because he thought here are very influential people doing a lot of things, and whatever these people do, the rest of the world follows. Yad yad acharati shreshtas tatta devata rochana. Whatever great people do, common people follow. So he understood my service is to tap few people and make them spiritual. So like that. So that is another personality that comes to my mind. So there are few examples.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So now we know about the scientific effects, benefits for us, for neurological perspective to help our brain. From spiritual stories that you enlightened us, now all I want is some practical solutions and some tips from you. So someone who is beginner like me, is there any strict rule regarding how we chant? And if we speak or misspelled any words or make any mistakes, is there any way that it would affect us while doing the japa?
There is one beautiful verse I think I wanted to mention earlier. I think this is a very beautiful verse. We will just read the translation of it. Why don't you read the translation of this verse?
Of course. One who chants the holy name of the Lord is immensely freed from the reactions of unlimited sins. Even if he chants indirectly to indicate something else jokingly for musical entertainment or even neglectfully, this is accepted by all the learned scholars of the scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam 6.2.14.
So this is Srimad Bhagavatam, the highest spiritual book, that's telling if you chant the holy names of Krishna, even jokingly. Sometimes Indians probably may not joke, but Westerners, there are many jokes on the Hare Krishna people in the 60s to 2000s. People, they would say, "Hey, you Hare Krishna people, how are you?" Like that. And people make mocking jokes at them. Too late. Just because you said Hare Krishna, your spiritual journey has begun. Whether you like it or not, Krishna is going to drag you. Somebody says knowingly or unknowingly, even mockingly also. Is this the verse that, okay. So, even somebody says criticizing way also. But these Hare Krishna people, they are rascals. Somebody says like that also. The holy name is so merciful. He says, still acts, all right. I'm going to still give you benefit only. Of course, God is not God if He doesn't find excuses to give mercy. Something or the other. Sometimes I give some competition, some biscuits for Gopal. I say, hey, if you study all these books, then I will buy you a Lego. And I am seeing, I don't think he will meet that target. After 2-3 days, I tell him, okay, at least if you finish half of it, I will give you. After 2-3 days, I realize he's not going to make it. I tell him, if you read just this one book, I will give you at least half of what I am planning to give you. So we, as parents, we find excuses just to encourage them. So similarly, this is Krishna's way of encouraging people to say, "Arey, don't worry. There are no hard and fast rules." Just as medicine, for example, somebody takes a medicine knowing well the side effects and the benefits of the medicine or not, the medicine still acts. Similarly, the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is also like that. Whether somebody chants night time, for example, where the both auspicious, all are going on around, you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. No problem, only benefit will come. Sometimes people wonder, can I chant without bathing? Yes, actually you can. Can I chant without brushing? Sometimes modern people, the questions people ask, I remember. No. I also ask these questions in my still early, but still. So, why are you not chanting, Prabhu? They say, Prabhu, in the morning, I wake up, I have to do this. I can't take bath. So, that's why I'm not chanting. So, then we tell them, you know what, you can chant even without taking bath. They're like, one less excuse. But Prabhuji, actually in the morning, I don't even brush only. I brush much later before eating breakfast only. Devotees say, no problem. Just put some water, and then you start chanting. The Prabhuji, I prefer to sit in my bed and wait for coffee to come to me, and then, so I don't feel it's appropriate for chanting. I know someone at least who told me this in this assembly. I'll not say anything, but so yes. So as far as Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned there are no hard and fast rules for chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Anyone can chant in any condition of life. Once Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in 500 years ago, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Radha Krishna combined. When Krishna wanted to experience the joy that Srimati Radharani experiences, Krishna came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu 500 years ago. So when he was there was one personality who was holding his tongue while going to Susu, while he was attending nature's call. And one small boy came and asked him, "Hey, when you are going to nature's call, why are you holding on to your tongue?" And that person said, "See, I am habituated uncontrollably to chanting of the holy name. It gives me so much nectar by chanting. So I am chanting Hare Krishna, but how can I chant when I am doing such an abominable activity as attending nature's call? So that's why I am holding my tongue," he said. But the boy, his name is, I think, Govinda. Balmukund Prabhu, please correct me. His Guru Govinda, something that starts with G. Gopal, sorry. His name is Gopal. So the boy Gopal, he said, "Prabhu, what if you leave your body while you are evacuating? Then Yam Yam Bhavi Smaran Bhavan Tyajatyani." So you are not chanting, so you will not go back to the spiritual world. So the Prabhu said, "Yeah, actually valid point." And somebody narrated this whole discussion to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, yes, that boy understood the essence of Shastra. All the rules and regulations exist. But this is the main rule. Ena tena prakarena manah Krishna niveshayet. Sarve vidhi nishedashur yetayoreva kinkara. Which means, always remembering, however we are able to remember God, that is the highest rule. Ena tena prakarena manah Krishna niveshayet. If the mind can reside in Krishna, that is the highest rule. Sarve vidhi, all rules and prohibitions, all do's and don'ts. Today is Ekadashi, no donuts. All do's and don'ts that are mentioned in the Shastra are actually yetayoreva kinkara. I'm sure all of us heard the word kinkara. In Yamadutas we hear. Kinkara means servants. All other rules and regulations are actually servants of this main rule. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he said, so this Gopal, he understood the essence of Shastra. So from now on, this Gopal should be called Guru Gopal. So from there on, everybody started calling him Guru Gopal. So no hard and fast rules. Anytime Matajis can chant, even when they are out of altar. There are no rules actually whatsoever. But of course, it's beneficial to take bath in the morning and chant. So we are not sleeping Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. No. It's good to brush at least. So I personally, because it takes a long time for me to take bath, and if I take bath, I make sounds that Gopal wake up. If he wakes up, my chanting is gone. So then I just wash my face and come out and just chant. So no hard and fast rules. Only soft, what is it? Hard and fast. No, soft and slow rules are there. Which is, go on. I'll tell later.
Okay, Prabhuji. So, initially when I started chanting, why do I have no taste when I'm chanting?
This is one question that I am disqualified to answer because I also don't know. But I can say, I will be lying if I say there is no taste in chanting. Many times, we are not supposed to share our spiritual ecstasies publicly. Because anytime, there are so many stories. Anytime I see some people, they say, "Oh, I am so wealthy. I know so much," like that. They're not supposed to share publicly like that. But I'll tell you that taste will come in due course of time. And Krishna is so merciful, even though we have no qualification. Once in a while he gives, just as you go to Costco, they give free samples. You go and then people standing there and getting free samples like that. So Krishna is also like that. Even though we have no qualification, we haven't paid our dues, still Krishna is merciful. He gives us that very strong spiritual ecstasy. You are thinking, wow, This is all I want. Nothing else. If I can just chant like this forever, wow, it will be so amazing. But Krishna is like free samples, as you know in Costco. They don't give the whole packet. They only give little. You say, very nice. Then they say, please buy. So, similarly, Krishna is also like that. You like it? Then please purify yourself. Please serve selflessly. Please read Shastra. Then he gives how to buy himself. Like that. And there is also in Nectar of Instruction an analogy that is given about how chanting is, in the beginning, is like tasting sugarcane juice when somebody has jaundice. Anyone has ever had jaundice in their life? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 6 people? 7? Okay, I thought that was much more prominent back in India. I got jaundice when I was maybe 10, 12, 8, 9, 10, somewhere there. I can tell you that when you drink sugarcane juice, when you have jaundice, it tastes bitter. This is not good. But your parents tell that this is very good. This is the medicine for you. Because it is mentioned the tongue, because of jaundice, even though sugarcane juice is very sweet, it tastes bitter. And somebody else told me that Karela juice, when you have jaundice, Karela juice tastes very sweet. Anyone drank Karela juice? I have not tried Karela juice when I had jaundice. But there is one Mataji in Sacramento. She said she tried Karela juice and it was sweet. Next time hopefully nobody gets it. But if you get, please try this and let me know. I would like to get more data points. So, when we are in this material world, it is like having jaundice. The material enjoyment, the Hollywood movies, eating meat, all of this tastes like nectar for us. Like the Karela juice tastes very good when somebody has jaundice, like that. But the holy name, which is supposed to be very sweet, because of the diseased condition we are all in, it tastes bitter. It doesn't taste good at all. So what is the medicine? Do you know what is the medicine people used to have when people had jaundice, let's say 50 years ago? Do you know? Apparently when you have jaundice, whatever you eat or drink doesn't get digested. The body has no energy to even absorb nutrients and carbohydrates from the food you're eating, apparently. So what they recommend is you just drink sugarcane juice only. What happens is when you drink sugarcane juice, small amounts of sugarcane juice are attached to the lining of the intestines. And whatever little layer of sugarcane juice that is attached to the intestines absorb that energy, and slowly the body develops strength to fight jaundice. And eventually you will be cured of jaundice. So that's the medicine for jaundice. So similarly, what is the medicine for our diseased condition where I have no attraction for holy name, but I am very much attracted to all the other material things? Gossip, Bollywood movies, news, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube shorts. Maja. How? Only one solution. We just drink the sugarcane juice of holy name, chanting. Even if few mantras enter our ear, they have such a purifying effect. Only few mantras out of, let's say, 108 mantras we chant. Sometimes we may chant more rounds. Those who are chanting 4 rounds, 16 rounds. Even if only few mantras enter our ears and enter our heart, they actually have the purifying effect. They actually sustain us. They give us strength in our spiritual practices. So the only medicine that's mentioned, even when we don't have taste, is just continue chanting.
Now I feel like I need to have some juice after this.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. That's it. You have your juice.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So I always used to think, why do we have Sri Krishna Chaitanya mantra before we start chanting on the very first beat?
Can I get a chanting bead, chanting mala? So usually before we begin, you may have noticed someone has done some very intense chanting on this. Okay. If we were to count, we will find 108 of these. This bead is the 109th. We don't count this top bead. It's called the Krishna bead. So before we begin chanting, usually we begin on this side. And each mantra, we don't touch the bead with this finger, but we use these two and we massage the bead. And we say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we move to the next bead and the next bead. And then we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then we keep moving like that. But even before we begin, I mentioned earlier, the chanting has some slow, there are no hard and fast rules, but there are some soft and slow rules. There are 10 offenses to be avoided that are mentioned in the Padma Purana. Even when we are chanting, there are some rules for our own benefit that were given to take full advantage of the chanting. So there are 10 offenses we should avoid when chanting. We will discuss maybe in the future session what those 10 are. Especially in the beginning, we may not do offenseless chanting. While chanting, we may do so many offenses. So, to protect us from those 10 offenses, the Hare Krishna, the Kali Yuga avatar of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the most munificent, Namo Mahavadanyaya, he is the most munificent or merciful incarnation of God. When somebody is sleeping in temple, Mahaprabhu would say, look at this great devotee. He is offering obeisances for so long. How advanced is he? He only looks at good where there is none. Like that. So, because Mahaprabhu is very merciful, he takes away all the offenses. He protects us from the offenses when we chant. So usually we say, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I am filled with offenses. Even when I am chanting, I am doing so many things. I am planning how to get more enjoyment in my life. I am planning how to do my work effectively. I am thinking how to take care of my children, this, that. I am attracted to so many other things in life. So please forgive me for my lower nature. Please protect me. Please purify me. Please cure me of this jaundice. So in that mood, we first chant the Panchatattva mantra. I hope all of you are familiar. Please say with me. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. So that's what the Panchatattva mantra does. And that's what the Panchatattva mantra is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So any tips for me to have a good japa?
Oh yes. There are many books on good tips. There are many books we can all read eventually. But here are some fundamentals. Chanting in the morning is the best chanting. Because in the morning we are in Sattva Gun. The entire atmosphere, pranavayu is abundantly available. Oxygen in the morning is abundantly available. Rest of the world is still sleeping. So phone won't ring. Nobody will disturb. Kids are sleeping. So best time to chant is in the morning. But they say your day begins the night before. So you will not be able to wake up in the morning if you haven't planned for your next day morning the night before. So you set aside what you're planning to do next day. Before you go to bed, you plan your morning for the next day. So that's one. Second is have a sacred space. A place where you know this is sacred. Pure place where you can sit, maybe in front of the deity, in front of a picture of Krishna. Free from distractions. No computer, no screens. If possible. So that's beneficial. You can also, usually I don't recommend chanting with phone around. But of course, in our community we have this morning chanting call from 6 to 9 on weekdays and 7 to 10 on weekends. So if possible, please give your attendance and association. The more people join, the more people will feel inspired. They'll say, wow, 30 people are joining in the morning. What excuse do I have? So we would like each of us to inspire each other. So please log in. You can keep your phone a little distance away so that your hand can't reach. We are anyway lazy to get up and get the phone. So you can join, keep the phone somewhere. And even if the mind says, I'm bored, let me go check the phone. If it is next to you, then immediately you'll pick up. If it's somewhere there, like, who else? Who will go? Let me chant only. So like that. So keep your phone away from you. That's another practical thing. There is also Vaishishika Prabhu, the temple president here in ISKCON Mountain View. He tells there are 3 P's to chanting. First P is posture. So we sit upright. It is recommended that we sit on some asana. Our lower back should be higher than our knees, according to Yoga Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Our knees should be lower than our. So Vajrasana helps to focus. You will see, I usually don't sit like this. I'm already feeling back pain. So usually you can get a cushion to sit on, and then you will be upright, and then you can chant. So posture. So first P in chanting is posture. Second P in chanting is pronunciation. Many a times I sit with my son, Shriyan. Kids have very bad habits. We do also. So we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna. Krishna is thinking, he's calling me, no. He's saying Krishna Krishna. Who is this personality? So when we are chanting, it's good to pronounce clearly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It's there is a good pace, but if we are able to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Its mind is focused. So second P is, first P is posture. Second P is pronunciation. Third P is prayerful mood. There are so many prayers. Our Shastras are actually filled with prayers because our heart, it's not very natural for us to ask for help because of our false ego. Why should I ask for help? So there are great personalities who gave us examples on how to pray. Kunti Devi is praying so many prayers. Gajendra is praying. There's so many prayers filled. So we can offer pray in a prayerful heart. Krishna, I am actually suffering. I am so suffering that I don't even know that I am suffering. I am so much in illusion that I don't even know that I am an illusion. I have so much jaundice that all I like is Karela juice only. I don't like spiritual activities. I have no taste. 3-hour movie I can blissfully watch. What a fun. Nice joke. 1 hour class. How long will Prabhuji speak? Very long. We have no taste actually. Unfortunately, that's the reality. So we can pray. Krishna, I have no taste. You please give me taste. have no spiritual strength, Maya Devi shows something, I am immediately attracted. So please give me strength to say no to things that are not beneficial for me. So 3 P's: posture, pronunciation, and prayerful heart. So in that heart, with that heart, then the Maha Mantra will be very powerful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. The last question I have for you is, you're working in the Technology Hub of California. How your day-to-day looks like here in terms of spiritual practices like japa? Like, when do you do your japa? In the morning, evening? What time is preferable for you to?
Krishna is very merciful to me. Anytime I miss my chanting in the morning, I have the most busiest days, most terrible days where nothing gets done. So I have learned to prioritize my chanting. I usually finish all my chanting in the morning before I do anything else. So I have the good fortune. I am praying because I am so fallen. I cannot do my japa any other time. So I am praying that Krishna continues this good fortune for many more years to come. So it's also mentioned that Radhesha Prabhu, and I shared this earlier, morning for your spiritual practices, daytime for your work, office work, and evening for family. So this is a very successful grihastha or householder life look like. If we are able to do that, we are protecting ourselves from the morning, and we are bathing, as that Alpha's waves video was mentioning. If we bathe ourselves with pure spiritual consciousness, it actually acts as protection for the rest of the day. At office, family, children, they drag our consciousness down. We will be able to say no. We will not be frustrated. We will not respond with anger. We may see, unfortunately, we live in material world. You go to internet, there are so many obscene images. Many a time the news has nothing to do with the picture that they are putting. So unfortunate world that we live in, and our minds are agitated. So we will be protected from all of that if we do our sadhana in the morning. And then we can focus. We will have focus during the day, where we will do our work, because our heart is already satisfied in the morning. We feel, if we're able to chant and even read. So that's why here is a marketing plug. Please join our morning chanting call from 6 to 9. So 6 to 6:45 we chant under the able guidance of Prashadji and Venuji. We are currently reading Bhagavad Gita. So very nice, just amazing 15-20 minutes of time where you feel so nourished just by spending that 15-20 minutes of time. You feel so, you feel like, I already got my day's worth. Even if I can't do anything else for the rest of the day, my day is a success. You feel like that. So because of that satisfaction, the rest of the day you will be able to focus on work without any distraction on Facebook, TikTok, chit-chat. Chit-chat, no app, I think. So then you will be able to spend quality time with family in the evening. So that's the ideal day for most people is.
Lastly, I want to thank you, Prabhu, for sharing your wisdom with us, and I'm truly grateful to be here for this opportunity. Hare Krishna to everyone.
Haribol! You did very well.
The last but not the least, I want to ask audience just a recap of what we learned today for Japa. So, do you guys, anyone have any reflections or questions here, or a recap?
Maybe we'll take 3 questions and then we'll take maybe 6 reflections. Anything that you heard. But first, maybe anyone has any questions?
We did great. No questions.
Prabhu, as you mentioned that Maha Mantra is Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I am born to Vaishnav family, and I am taught a mantra from my childhood, Sri Krishna Shararam Mama, which means that I am in Sri Krishna's shelter, like I am surrendering myself. So naturally, that mantra comes to me all the time. So yeah, what to do about it?
You're fortunate, you're blessed already. So, yeah, that's actually, you see, in few places the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is fully given. In other places, you see a broader definition. God is not so picky per se. So actually, any names of Vishnu are actually powerful. But within the names of Vishnu, there are different degrees. But Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama in some sampradaya is emphasized, and it's good, it's wonderful. What you can do is you can add this chant, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, also to your sadhana, to your practice, if possible. You can chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for our satisfaction, and for your family satisfaction, you can do Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama. You'll notice one thing: the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is actually long. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it will take longer. So it is more purifying. So you can continue. I mean, that is an authorized mantra. If you are attracted to it only, and you cannot, even if you try the mouth, the tongue doesn't move, you are unable to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I would say you are very fortunate. But if not, then you can try adding this also. So it will probably that, because we are looking, variety is the spice of life. In spirituality, why do we sing different tunes, different kirtans? Is so that the mind is focused. Ena tena prakarena mana Krishna niveshe. That's the main goal. So however we are able to put the mind in remembering Krishna, that's okay. I hope that's helpful. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, 2 more questions. Okay, Suresh, we'll get you mic.
Okay, you must be knowing in Chilkur Balaji temple at Hyderabad, we do 108 pradakshinas. So here also there are 108 beats. So is there anything specific with that number? That's one question. And what time you wake up and what time exactly you do this mantra?
108. Yes, actually it's quite interesting. The 108 beads represent many things depending on the mood of the devotee. There are 108 primary gopis in Vrindavan. So as we chant, and on each bead, on my chanting bead, you will see after the 8th bead there is one small rope indicating these are the Ashtasakis, the main 8 gopis, and from there on the remaining 100. So each of this is like offering our prayer to each of them. We are offering a flower at the lotus feet of each of them. We can think like that. We are praying to them. That's one way to understand. 108 also signifies there are many Upanishads, but of them, main Upanishads are 108. So it is mentioned that as we chant each Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we get the benefit of reading that entire Upanishad. So by completing one round, we get the benefit, or when we say benefit, what benefit do we get from reading an Upanishad? The realization that you would get by reading a book, by reading Upanishad in this case, you will get that by chanting each mantra, each Hare Krishna Mahamantra will give you that much realization. So that is 108 Upanishads is the second reason why you have. There are many reasons like that. Another more modern scientific evidence is the distance between Earth to Sun is actually 108 times the diameter of the Sun. The distance between Earth and Sun is 108 times the diameter of the Sun. Similarly, the distance between the Earth and the Moon is 108 times the diameter of the Earth. There is also golden ratio. I don't know if you heard this. In nature we find many things like that. The pineapple, the designs of pineapple or nautilus, if you cut a shell, the design inside the conch shell, you'll find 1.08 is the ratio. You can look it up for your reference. For the rest of you, if you don't understand what I'm saying, no problem. It's called golden ratio. So this is something we find in nature also. God has left us clues. He knows Suresh Prabhu will get this down. Why 108? Why not more or less? There are many reasons for 108. So I hope that's helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you. One final question.
I don't know, it's intentional. We didn't answer the other.
Oh, the second question. Okay. When do I wake up? So I wake up usually, I try to wake up between 5 to 6. And whenever I wake up, as I mentioned earlier, I just wash my face and go to one room. Earlier, I wouldn't bring my phone. But now since I'm asking everybody to join, now I'm also joining the morning chanting call. And I keep my phone further away and then finish as much chanting as possible in the morning. Again, Krishna is merciful. So we do 16 rounds, which for me takes about 2 hours. So we do all that in the morning. And many people wonder actually. Many people ask ISKCON devotees, "Arre, how much time you guys have? 2 hours? You must be cutting somewhere." No, actually, it's quite interesting. Krishna is time. Krishna says, "Aham kalosmi," time I am. So Krishna can expand time. Sometimes, have you had those days where you're working, and at the end of the day, nothing was achieved? You're thinking, already evening? Oh God. Have you had that experience? And also, do you have this experience where you're sitting in Kirtan and you're chanting and they say, 30 minutes is over, and you're like, already 30 minutes? So, of course, we also have this experience of watching Netflix and, 3 hours is already over? Like that also. Bad examples also we have. So, time is a relative thing actually. So, time can be expanded and contracted depending on our consciousness. When we have very refined intelligence, we are able to see through things much more clearly. And so, unfortunately, we also have the same 24 hours. I'm praying, Krishna, please give me a few more hours. Krishna helps. Because we are giving time for Him. Actually, we are giving for our own selves, for our own purification. But because we are prioritizing our spiritual practices, our purification, Krishna helps in other aspects of our life. So, yes. Okay, one final question. Okay, Lata Mataji.
It's okay. Since our Mataji over here said she has been initiated into a mantra, right? We all come here, we chant the Maha Mantra. Are we considered initiated or not? Or is it required to be initiated to chant a mantra? Questions about that. What is the difference? So,
very nice.
Sorry.
Good question. So, what is initiation? Can you chant without being initiated? Clearly, what we are doing here is not illegal. The fact that we are live streaming, that the rest of the world can see, other ISKCON authorities can see, is the fact that we can chant even without initiation. So then why do you need initiation? Initiation, for a lack of better example, is like marriage. So before marriage, we may understand the, not supposed to say spouse, no, partner. You can get to know the partner. We may hang out with them, talk to them over phone, understand their personality. But why do we get married? Is because you're telling officially, you're calling 10,000 people. These days they live stream and make trailers also for the pre-wedding shoots and post-wedding shoots. Post they don't do, I think, because they'll mostly be fighting. So why do we do weddings in such a grand scale? Is so that everybody knows now that this guy is married. So that's what initiation signifies. Initiation means you are formally committing to a process. You have spent sufficient time, you have read sufficient Shastra, you have understood sufficiently to say, okay, this is an authorized process. There are 4 authorized sampradayas. As long as you are in any of these 4 authorized sampradayas, we will speak more about this in our Gitamrita series. What are these 4 sampradayas? What is initiation? All that we will speak more. This is a very advanced topic. But for Mataji's satisfaction, so we can chant even without initiation. And initiation is a formal process where we are committing in front of the Lord with yajna, with so many hundreds and thousands of people. So even when I feel lazy, maybe crazy, to stop chanting, then I will say, no, I made promise to so many people, how can I break my own promise? So with that, at least, on days where you don't feel inspired, you will still chant. And that's the most important thing about having a daily or a regular sadhana. Why do we say every day you should chant? Sometimes people ask, spirituality is the matter of heart. Why do you guys put rules? Why do you say every day you should chant? I will chant whenever I want to chant. Whenever I feel like chanting, I will chant. Many people say like that. Yes, that's true. But unfortunate thing is, most days we don't feel like chanting. Most days we feel like watching Netflix or doing or sleeping rather. Mantra is, you are saying we want to deliver the mind only. Mind is lazy. Mind is crazy. So we want to purify the mind. So if you want to purify the mind, you have to have regular practice. That's why every day we must practice every day. So why, when you do every day, you will notice that some days very easy. You can chant 10 rounds also, 16 rounds also. Sometimes people tell, Prabhuji, I chant 16 rounds. And then they say, on some days. If you didn't hear, on some days. Good, wonderful, amazing. But I am interested in what is your least minimum. Because that's what determines how spiritual you are. When Krishna makes everything wonderful for you, how many rounds you chant? Amazing. But when life is difficult, how many rounds we chant? How much prioritization we give to spirituality? That is the day, that is your test day. That is the day where Krishna is testing. I'm not going to help you. Show me how serious and sincere you are. That is the day Krishna is interested in learning. So that is the day we are interested in measuring also. So if you are able to chant on those difficult days, 4 rounds, we can say I'm chanting 4 rounds. So initiation is formally we're committing to chanting 16 rounds, however difficult or easy the life may be. And I can tell you that it's a science. Slowly we progress. Just as you go to gym, you don't give me that 100 lb dumbbell. And then you break some muscle and tear something. So no, we begin slow. And then slowly we progress, and you realize, actually, no, what? I'm able to lift 50 pounds or 100 pounds is also possible. In the beginning, 16 rounds, these people must be crazy or what? 16 rounds? Impossible. You will see. Actually, Prabhupada said minimum 16 rounds. So many devotees, actually there is one doctor in Atlanta, he chants 64 rounds every day. I know many people who chant 32 rounds. So it's possible actually. Alright. One more last question. Because she asked the last question earlier, that's why she's in one more last.
In your day, exercise, what do you do? When do you do it?
Very nice question. Our life is open book. So For the benefit of everyone, because people want to know. Theory is good, but practically how do you do it? Yes, I have noticed on days, so I think I mentioned this before, I do what we call as 7-minute exercise. I just do high intensity interval training, just 7 minutes of yoga stretches or just high heartbeat type of exercises. Doctor usually recommends 30 minutes. I could never manage to find that much time in my life. Health is a very important aspect, but I have more important things for me personally. But I have noticed most people don't do any exercise at all. And this BDNF, I was watching in the context of doing planks. I don't know if any of you had. Planks is one of the best exercise you can make, because core really is the heart of your body. If you have good core, you will live happy life, longer life. Less people need to help you later on. So Srila Prabhupada, when he was asked, what should devotees focus on? First thing he said was not chanting. He said health. Second thing he said was service. The third thing he said was actually chanting and reading Shastra. So if you don't have good health, you cannot chant. You sit, you're chanting Hare Krishna, this side backs, this side pains. Our mind is disturbed. You don't have good relationships. So we usually recommend have good health, physical health, very important. If you can exercise on a regular basis. Again, don't blindly take it, measure. Anything that gets measured gets improved. So you have automatic ways or manual ways that you can track your progress. You say, in a week how many times, in a month how many times, in a year how many times did I exercise? So you can have some ways to measure good health, and then on a platform of good health, you have good relationships. You have very cordial relationships among families. We posted a message about encouraging everyone to sign up, even your kids, for signing up for the BSF, Bhakti Steps Festival event. Because families that sing together, cling together. Families that dance together. You come to our ISKCON temple, our space here is limited, but soon we will begin dancing for Kirtan. The family that dances together advances together. That family that dines together shines together. So have a nice family environment where the mind is peaceful, happy, joyful. It does require some effort. In Kali Yuga, nothing is easy. Kalaha. Kalaha means? Fights. Kali Yuga means fights are there for small things also. Wife says, I asked you to put bread there. Why are you putting here? And the whole fight begins. And then after 1 hour, you realize, wow, what was the starting point of the fight? Putting the bread there instead of here. So all small things we fight actually requires great amount of forgiveness, tolerance. So have a healthy life and then peaceful relationships. On these platforms, spirituality can be practiced joyfully for a long time. So that's what our recommendation is. So thank you for asking that question. Okay, now I'm going to take this. We are way over our time. So what do we want to do? Any quick reflections? Please shout out and I'll repeat. Okay, Harshini, Harshini, okay. She's always smiling, so I remember her name as Harshini. We'll give you the mic.
Last year, I went to visit my friend at UC San Diego. It was a very nice night, so we decided to take a walk. The campus is very pretty. And we were hearing this very blissful music. And we're like, whoa, what is that? Nightlife, let's go see what it is. We thought it was a band, people dancing, singing. And when we went there, we realized it's a community praying to Jesus. And we stayed there because it sounded so pretty. And I looked around, And I saw people dancing, and I saw people chanting and smiling. And then I realized when I pray to God, when my family prays to God, we just sit down, we say a few slokas, then it's time to eat, and that's it. So I was thinking, we were reflecting on why such things don't happen in our religion. And when I joined ISKCON, I realized it does happen. And a few weeks ago, it was my first time at an ISKCON temple, and people were doing the same thing, smiling, chanting, dancing. And it was very beautiful, and I realized chanting the holy name can be so happy. And it was nice, and it was nice that I found that community to do that. Exactly a year later.
Okay, 4 more reflections to go. Matajis are dominating me. Okay, Satyaji.
Very quick one. The Mataji asked, right, on top of that, when I was listening, it seems during Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu days, he asked somebody who is in that same town, start praying Krishna. The next day he came back and said, please kill me, Prabhu, I am not able to chant. And he said, why? Because I am the ardent devotee of Rama. So he said, don't worry, just keep praying Rama. So
that devotee's name is Murari Gupta. As I was answering you, that's the past time I am remembering. That when I said, your tongue is not. So Murari Gupta. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Murari Gupta, who is an incarnation of Hanuman. Hanuman came as Murari Gupta in this pastime. So he asked Murari Gupta, hey, you're chanting the names of Lord Ram, chant the names of Krishna, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra also. So he goes home, entire night he tried his best. But to the best of his ability, he was uncontrollably only chanting Rama's name. He was trying like this. He was trying to move the tongue, but the tongue wouldn't listen to him. It's possible. Right now the tongue doesn't listen to us. You're thinking, I shouldn't say curry is not good. But wrong time, anyway the curry is not good. And then you're... So we have a different uncontrollable tongue. This is spiritually uncontrollable tongue. So next day Murari Gupta comes to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is his heart and soul. He comes and he asks, Mahaprabhu, please give me permission to commit suicide. Mahaprabhu says, what? Why do you want to commit suicide? He said, how can I live my life if I cannot follow your instruction? You are my spiritual master. If I cannot follow your instructions, what is the use of my life? So please give me your permission to end my life. Mahaprabhu said, of course, Mahaprabhu knew. Mahaprabhu is Rama himself. So through this pastime, he wanted to demonstrate the chastity of Murari Gupta to Lord Sri Ram. They find, so in the spiritual realm, as I mentioned, there are different planets. And if we get attracted to Narasimha, we will go to the planet of Narasimha. Each Supreme Lord portrays different moods, and whoever is attracted to different moods, like some love worshipping the Lord with so many elaborate arrangements, 108 deepa, big deepas, the mantras, Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Pur. So there are so many people, varieties of people within spirituality. Whoever gets attracted to a particular form, in a particular mood, they go to that particular spiritual world. So spiritual world is 2/3. In the 1/4 of, so I said 3/4. 3/4 of spiritual world, 1/4 only there is so much variety. How much more variety should be there in the spiritual world? But for us to realize right now, when we say no, it is usually because of our false ego. So I can't chant. But that's because out of false ego. Why should I chant? I like this personality. I like Ganesha. I will chant Ganesha's name only. Why should I follow Bhagavad Gita? That's the mood of modern man especially. Because of our false ego, we think I am great, so the person I am worshipping should be great. Not because Ganesha himself is telling, Are Baba, no, I am not great. I am writing Vedas on behalf of Vedavyas. Ganeshji knew actually who the Supreme Personality is. In fact, Brahma Samhita mentions Ganeshji gets all his power to destroy obstacles from Narasimhadev. So, but we said, no, you don't know Ganesh. I also know. I only know. I follow you only. So that's why it is recommended for most of us, we chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for purification. And then in your spiritual maturity, where you no longer have any material attraction, no longer attracted to Facebook, Netflix, opposite gender, food that is not offered to God. The moment you know it is prasadam, irrespective of its taste, you are attracted to it. The moment you know it is not offered, most delicious, amazing looking prasadam, you are not attracted. When we come to that stage, then your heart will reveal who you are estimated. Until that point, which will take a few decades, by the way, few decades of very sincere and serious sadhana. So until then, we follow Shastra. Hare Krishna. Thank you for that reflection. Okay, one more reflection and then we conclude. Any takeaway points? Anything that you heard that, wow, this is nice, I haven't heard this before. Okay, instead of me asking all of you to speak, what I'm going to do is pair up. So please find a person next to you. For next 2 minutes, please share 1 or 2 points that you took away from it. Okay, so please find a partner next to you among Mataji. So please share anything that you liked from the session today. Hare Krishna. 1 minute each. I was mentioning earlier, time passes slowly sometimes, fast sometimes. This is one of those instances time passes very fast. It's already 3 minutes. Kids are already here. Prabhus have stopped talking, but Matajis are continuing to speak. Okay, if you can hear me, please say shh. If you can hear me, please say shh. Okay, few quick announcements. Next week is Bhakti Steps Festival. It's a festival of commitment. So next Saturday we will have fire yajna. We will have Narsimha yajna for the protection of everyone who is making this commitment. So all of us have the strength to follow